rivals will clash in the NFC West. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there right off the bat. 43 yards.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. A first run now for Kyren Williams. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Kyren Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Rams will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That time, a 6-play drive.
And it was capped off by the Kyron Williams touchdown run.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The pickup there, 5 yards.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Jalen Waddle.
30 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. Stafford.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Now Stafford.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Stafford.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
It goes without saying the defense is going to have to adjust to it.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
They give the tackle to Quentin Lake.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They run again with Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now Purdy. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
after the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has a two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. If the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. They try the left side here with Williams. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That's Reek Woolen with a great play to get him for a loss.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now a play fake and it's Stafford.
He'll get that complete to Parkinson.
2 yards on the pickup there. And 3rd and 8 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Stafford.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
72 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And Walker once more. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Purdy looking to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Walker now on 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He'll get that out wide to Waddle.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Out of the gun, Purdy. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Byron Young, the one who got in and finished that play off.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon.
Back deep for the Rams is Tutu Atwell.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
In motion goes the tight end. A shotgun snap for Stafford.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams.
Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in.
The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The slot man in motion right.
Here's Purdy.
That's caught over the middle by Fant. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Purdy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. From the 50, Stafford.
Short throw, it's Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he'll take this down inside the 45.
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And they'll send Kupp in motion right. And he'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Back to throw, Stafford. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Stafford now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Ethan Evans on now to punt.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Byron Young.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Eluding the pressure right.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Purdy now to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Purdy from the gun.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Jalen Waddle
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it's 21-10. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one.
Second down and a yard.
Stafford.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now it's Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Throwing again is Stafford.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is caught. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
We saw a fine performance in the first half from the former Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here. Third quarter, we'll see what else he has in store for us. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now Purdy. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Straight ahead, Walker. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 25 on second down, Purdy. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Tre'Davious White, the LSU man there to knock it away that time.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on fourth down. It's Jason Myers.
Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Stafford.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and end up making the play.
In motion, the tight end. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. To the air again, Stafford. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line.
The Seahawks offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Back to Walker on first down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Purdy off the play fake. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing here, Purdy. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Fielded at about the 28. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6.
Now we give up the middle to Williams.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Out of the gun, Stafford.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 37.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. This looks like a free play for Stafford. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it, and it's 24-17. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Now they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. Here's Walker to start the drive. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Here's Purdy.
Left side complete to Lockett. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Play action. Now Purdy. Open man is Waddle, complete.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Purdy.
Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 yards there on the first down pickup.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing, and he does exactly that, picks up the first down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner, where we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer picks it up for the first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford going up top for Kupp. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the fourth and final quarter. Stafford now to throw.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on third down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Third down and 1. Back to throw, Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
Rolling to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
A yard, all they need, but it's third down. Again, it's Walker.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On the give, it's Walker.
And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Purdy now to throw. Smith and Jigba with the grab.
Well, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They go play action here. Purdy
steps away. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Purdy looking to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Running right, here's Walker. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This to make it a two-score game. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
Here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They'll send the tight end in motion. Now Stafford. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Stafford. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And we're definitely getting towards the point of the game where not getting a lot of yards is secondary to keeping the clock moving. I mean, to me, that's a double win defensively. Short gain and some more time off the clock.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's caught. Puka Nacua.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
He came very close to absolutely destroying their defensive strategy, didn't he? Broke some tackles and came very close to picking up a first down. They've got to wrap up better.
Indeed, but they were able to get him down before that marker. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Now Stafford.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Now it's Stafford.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down.
Stafford now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete.
Here's second down. Now Stafford. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And while it's probably going to take a miracle at this stage, if they come down with this one in the end zone, they've still got a fighting chance. That one, however, winds up incomplete.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a one-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So second and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Purdy down to a knee, and that should be the final act of the ball game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered a loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.